Hello, it's time for my May update for the Montgomery County Fair for the Home Arts Challenge 2023. When last we met, I told you I would have this done for May. Obviously, that did not happen. The person who's helping me with this and I haven't gotten together to Zoom to get it off of the spindle, so it's not off the spindle. But right now you're wondering, does she shoot all these videos the same day? I mean, I know they've been released different days on YouTube, but she's always wearing the same thing. And that's because I like uniforms. This is my fair shirt. It has apples and birds, and for some reason that's a fair to me. Then I have my special sewing necklace, which has sewing pieces on it. Then I have my floss necklace, and it has a little place where you can cut floss. I have my pretty rings, and I have a uniform to wear. So next up is, what did you do in the month of May? And one of the Facebook groups I follow, she's been having the Halloween Challenger. She has different challenges every month, and because I haven't been doing a lot of Halloween stuff, I haven't been able to participate. But in May, it was Monkey May and do a Halloween. And then if you finish your Halloween thing, you can continue on, which is what I did. So I started or finished with her on perforated paper, this owl. I put a hanger on him yesterday, so he would be done, except there's these little whites showing here. So I'm going to go back with a marker and marker that just a little bit so that he looks better. Also for her challenge, I finished this. Again, it's in the 4-inch category. And I said I wanted to run the 4-inch category, which I do. But as much as I said that I'd be willing to stitch anything, still haven't felt the need to stitch a seal, a country seal or a map or something. But I did find a floral I could do, because this floral had so many different items to it. It has the sunflowers. It has many different flowers. So I felt comfortable doing this particular floral. And I found I had a nifty frame in my frame stash. So it has this nice brown frame, which I thought went really nice with the little basket or pot that all the flowers are in. The thing I do like about making these updates is I get things done for the updates. Like last time we met, I had this done, but I hadn't put the felt on the back. And the felt really does make it a little better. I know you're thinking, it's not even a circle, but it really does look closed up nicely. So last night I put this felt piece on, put this felt piece on, put this felt piece on, and I also did do another for the 4-inch category. This is Apollo. So he's a person. He's under 4 inches, so he will go in that category too. Now, I've always wanted to try different things, or I've been wanting to do stump embroidery for a long time. This is the tail of a dragonfly, and this is one wing of a dragonfly. Okay, maybe I should have using white probably wasn't the best idea because it shows through. I think I have some green. I might try again. This is the blanket stitch. It was taking me a long time. And back to, I wanted to get more things done in a time period than one big thing, because hopefully, the numbers. So I made a bib. This big, I know you're wondering, what's APO? APO, look, magic circle again. Those are the letters of the fraternity that I, my husband, both my sons, my sister, and many of my friends are in. So this way, my fiber child can take any one of their stuffed animals and put this little bib on it, and then it has the fraternity letters. My child did give me the side eye on that, but they accepted the fact that I am doing a few certain things for the fair, but I'd like them to be slightly usable after the fair. Look at that back. I don't do many pretty backs, but nice looking back. That is a beautiful back. So those were all things that I've done in the month of May in the cross-stitch category. You'll remember I told you I couldn't do anything about the first 3 categories because they involved baking. Not quite true. I mean, I told you I'm growing some spices that they're not growing very well. I need to get them outside. But a friend of mine did give me some chives, and I cut them up and I dried them. Okay, they're a little big.
but they're cut and dried and they're in the nice little glass container, and that's a done. Okay, I should stay away from two things, eBay and quilt stores. Look what I got off of eBay. It's actually a set of panels. These owls are so cute, not cute, they're so dramatic, and I like all the contrast. And I know right at this moment you're thinking, what category is this? Well, it's quilting. See, you can see on the back all the quilting I did to trace around the owl. You can't even see it on the front, which is good and bad. I mean, that's not how quilting done, but I really like the owl. I really wanted him up on my wall. I gotta go to Joann Fabrics because I want a ribbing that's kind of like this gold color so it stands out and draws you to that edge. And this one will be under 20 inches, whereas the rose one I showed you last time was over 20 inches. I don't know if it'll count at all, but I just want him on my wall at some point, so he will be. Speaking of owls and eBay, the apron is done. I don't know if I showed you the apron previously, but, well, I should say it's done and yet not. This is from the 1970s, I'm sure. I mean, look at the colors, but it's so cute. But of course, I showed it to my child and they go, Mom, where are the mushrooms? Mushrooms come on this little applique embellishment, so I have to cut them out and put them on. So this can be done, but it would look nicer with the mushrooms. I know you're seeing a lot more. You're seeing flowers. I don't know about those flowers. That's going to take some work. But I think I could. I've already put the stiffener on the back, so I can cut around the mushrooms and put them all, the two mushrooms and the snail together in this little empty white space right here. Took me 3 times to do these straps. The first time, inside out, straight stitch across the bottom, zigzag flip, and the material pulled apart because it is from the 70s. It's not quite dry rot yet, but it's getting close. Turned inside out, did again. Third time, I was like, either you do it this time or I'm going to cut a strap out of some scrap material. Third time it worked. I'm sure they're probably going to comment that you can see the stitches here. I'm sure they're going to comment a lot. And I have to mentally prepare myself for that. And they should. This is not perfection work, which I guess for the home art, it is supposed to be professional. But I'm going with done. And I'm trying to run the categories a little bit. And it's an owl, and it's so cute. Oh, and I've got to make sure I have no strings hanging. Oh, the comments, if I had strings hanging on there. And I'll want to iron him a little bit and go through and cut. Oh my gosh, that one's still attached. Okay, I got to inspect these things and cut all those and make sure there's no strings hanging on them. So I will do that. And then lastly, along those same lines, the piece came out of timeout. This is that cloth book I told you about that was sitting in timeout. And in part, it was sitting in timeout because inside out, it didn't look perfect. And it's still not necessarily perfect. There's a little bit of a pucker here. But I promise you, the 18-month-old that gets to have this book is not going to notice that pucker. They're only going to notice if it comes apart, and probably not even that. They're 18 months old. They can't articulate it. They're not going to critique me. The people who look at it might critique me, but it's a storybook. Yes, another category for the dolls and toys. And a couple categories. I wanted to do 2 things, especially in case they said, like the owl pillow I did. Maybe they'll say that's a sewing pillow. Of course, maybe I get to say what I think it is because it is a stuffed animal and therefore I can put it in dolls and toys. But this most definitely, well, yeah, it's sewing, but there is specifically a category for cloth book under dolls and toys. So it would go there. Okay, I also did this. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. I had a plan for it, but it's supposed to be a sewing fob. You're supposed to square it off and put it on a little floss and attach it to your scissors, but it's huge. I know it's part of what's supposed to be. It's supposed to be huge so you can find your scissors, so your scissors can't get too far away because you'd have this, but it's just too big for me. I want to make another one that's maybe a little bit smaller. So right now, I'm still thinking about it. Something will happen to it before the fair. Again, I need to count a little bit because it's under 4 inches. This is also under 4 inches. This could both be in the fantasy category, although I think this could also be in the Halloween or actually in the holiday other than Christmas category. Of course, I haven't done Christmas, so I need to go do a snowman to do a Christmas one, because again, still kind of want to run the 4-inch category because they are easy to get done. But I'm not going to do them all because I really don't want to do one that's a car, train, or boat. Although, we'll think about that. Maybe. I have a lot of train ones. I could. Okay? We'll see what happens next month. And like I said, the 4-inch things are things I do at night while I watch TV. And I like to watch TV for too many hours before I go to bed. And this keeps me busy while I'm doing that, or it has a piece of productiveness to it. Speaking of productiveness, I have not been working on this, obviously. Again, it was going to be one piece that would take a long time, and if it didn't come out quite right, I was able to stitch like 4 things in the month of May, or I could have done this, and I think this would even take me more. I might get back to this. My concern was the printing's a bit off, which I know that's expected because it's a cheap one, and I was concerned. I need to go back. This has to be 67 stitches. I don't think it was. So I need to get a brick, put it on the brick, see if I can make it work, see if I'd have to take stitches out or put stitches in before I continue on. And that was going to take a lot of thought, so that just didn't happen. So that is my May update, or so I think. I might have missed something. You'll catch it at the end. But this is, I do like doing a monthly update because it gives that progression, and we're getting closer to the fair. And of course, these videos are just that. They are not being entered to the fair. So I hope you have enjoyed my May update. And there should be a June update and July, because I do have those 2 months. But definitely the July update will be the last one, because then the fair is in August. Hope to see you at the fair. Bye!